Hello and welcome along to Extra Time as Real Madrid produced one of their best performances of the season on Saturday afternoon. The Whites beating Málaga by 2-0 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Joining me in the studio to look back at that game, Sid Lowe, Fred Hermel and Rodrigo Marcial. Sid, would you go along with that? One of the best performances of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was an intensity about them. There was an ability to control the game, to create chances that perhaps hadn't been there earlier on in the season. I think, but in the same way that I've been saying that they need to be given time and that we need to be cautious about the reasonably poor performances, I think the same must be said about this. The two best performances at home have been against Getafe and against Málaga, neither sides which truly should cause Real Madrid huge problems. But there were definitely positive signs, and I think there was a sign, above all else, of them starting to feel comfortable in their new approach and their new role.
Now, Karim Benzema didn't play. He wasn't even on the bench. He had a slight injury, but Freddie, he's okay, isn't he?
Yes. I know that all the world is waiting for my answer, my information. Karim is okay. Then we can be happy. No problem. Karim and Varane, no problem. Karim trained normally today, and he will be the start 11 on Wednesday against Juventus Turin. But first of all, what a nice weekend. Eh? I like this kind of weekends.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Result, all good result for us.
Yeah. All very good results for Real Madrid. We'll be taking a look at some of those other results in La Liga. But Rod, it's a big week for Real Madrid. We've got Juventus midweek in the Champions League and then the Clásico against Barcelona.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest month in La Liga with Juventus and Barcelona, and after the match against Juventus again. I think Real Madrid now is in a good shape with a good performance against Málaga, and I think Juventus is in a bad shape. If you look at the Fiorentina game with 2-0 in the first half, I think it's a good moment to say Juventus bye to the Champions League, because if you win both matches, Juventus won't go to the next stage. I think it's a good moment for Real Madrid. Yes.
So a 2-0 win for Real Madrid against Málaga at the Santiago Bernabeu. Let's get the thoughts of the manager, Carlo Ancelotti, who spoke at the post-match press conference.
Fue bueno.
The team put in a very good game. It was an enjoyable match to watch, and I was very happy with the attitude that my players showed. We defended well. We were much more aggressive and compact. We created a lot of chances to score. It was a good performance, and I hope we can show the same intensity in our next games.
Creo semplicemente hemos trabajado más.
We worked harder defensively, and the players concentrated on defending better than we have been doing. We tried to recover the ball quickly. We put Málaga under pressure, and we looked very composed. And I think that was the main difference to our performances in other matches.
Fue la diferencia.
Carlo Ancelotti speaking in the post-match press conference. I guess what we saw from Real Madrid and what probably pleased Carlo Ancelotti a lot more was what he was asking for, and that was more intensity right from the start.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest difference really between this performance and others this season, because we've talked quite a lot about the way in which Madrid are trying to find a new identity, the way in which they're trying to evolve in terms of their style. But the one thing that Ancelotti has consistently talked about was speeding up the circulation of the ball, speeding up the challenges, making sure Madrid, when they win the ball back, they do it quicker, making sure that the whole thing was faster. And I think that was really the big difference that weekend. It's curious, though, isn't it, in a way, that you look at the game, and obviously Willy Caballero had a brilliant performance, and the two goals Madrid did score, they almost kind of scored them by accident to some extent, in that you've got the first one, which is an accident, and the second one in which Cristiano Ronaldo apologises for, because as he himself was recognising, he hadn't had the best of games.
No, it was an unbelievable performance from Willy Caballero. Can you remember a goalkeeping performance like that at the Bernabeu? It was stunning.
Yes, Casillas. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, no, you're right, absolutely. It does often happen that visiting goalkeepers have great games.
I was serious when I was saying about talking about Casillas, but it's true that Caballero was the result would have been 6 or 7-0 for Real Madrid, in favour of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But Caballero is a fantastic goalkeeper, and okay, I don't understand why he's not playing with Argentina. You know, it's
incredible.
It's incredible, no? You know, but this is a quality. You know, sometimes we say that it's because of the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper is part of the team. You know.
Well, yes.
When Casillas is saving a lot of goals against Real Madrid or Diego Lopez, you know, it's because Real Madrid is doing well his job, because he has one or two great goalkeepers, you know. For me, a goalkeeper is like another player. I don't like when you make differences. Say, he did his job. He did it very well.
And here's something else that Freddie won't like then, and I say this obviously knowing that I've actually defended Benzema quite a lot, but I think the inclusion of Morata did contribute a little bit to the intensity because there's a different style of approach. Now, I personally think that Karim Benzema is obviously technically a far better player than Morata, but I think the desire that Morata has to prove himself, which obviously can't be expressed in the same kind of technical way that Benzema expresses it, becomes expressed, if you like, in a physical or an emotional sense, and that probably helped Madrid a little bit in this game. My big doubt is whether it will genuinely help them in a game like the Camp Nou or Juventus.
Yeah, I think it's a good message for Benzema to know Morata could play in the starting lineup with the pressure with the other teams, and I think in this match Real Madrid changed the balance. In Yaramendi play a really good match, and in the midfield I think is the key of Real Madrid to play together in the midfield without Xabi Alonso and with Yaramendi, and now is the key of the match, I think.
Let's hear from one of the players who came on. Gareth Bale came on for the last 15 or 20 minutes, and afterwards Real Madrid TV's Rhiannon Jones caught up with him.
Yeah, it was massively important for us to get the win today, and I thought we played well through the whole game, and deserved the win, and looking forward now to the next two big games.
Now, I spoke to Paul Clement earlier on, and he said that despite coming on for only a few minutes, you made a big impact. How did you feel out there?
It's just nice to get over the little injury that I had. It's been difficult getting back in. Obviously, had no pre-season and stuff like that. So it's great to get back on the pitch, get a few minutes under my belt, and make a good impact.
And you mentioned that little injury, you refer to it. There's been plenty of talk about that in the press. Do you have anything to say about that?
It was just a little thigh strain. I think the fact that I haven't had a lot of game time and a lot of pre-season games or training or running, which is you always pick up little niggles, and I think everything was blown out of proportion massively, and it was just a little minor injury, and I'm back playing now. And
we saw you on the left wing out there tonight, not the right wing. How did it feel?
I enjoy playing anywhere, up through the middle, right or left, so it was just great to get onto the pitch, and great to get the 3 points and keep our season going.
Gareth Bale speaking to Rhiannon Jones after the game. He came on, got some minutes, had a bit of an impact as well.
That was the most important
provoked a penalty.
Yeah.
It's 2 goals of Real Madrid, and one of the goal has been provoked by Gareth Bale, and very good what he did.
I think it's important.
It's evident that Gareth Bale will provoke a lot of penalties because he's very quick. Then when you have a very quick player, you need the defender is coming late. Then he makes mistake. He makes mistakes. And Gareth Bale, I think he was a little bit worried because of his injury. It was a little injury. It was nothing, but it was not very. He was not very happy because there was a delay, in his real debut. But now he's quite to be 100% fit. So the international break was good for him because he had time to work and to do a little pre-season, and to work a lot in Valdebebas, in the training camp of Real Madrid. And Gareth Bale will be very useful. And I think people say that he will be ready for the Camp Nou. Can you imagine with Benzema, with Bale and Cristiano? In counter-attack, it can be incredible in Camp Nou because it's sure that we will have spaces there.
I think could be a surprise in the starting lineup with Real Madrid playing Gareth Bale on the left and Cristiano maybe on the right. If you look at the game, and maybe on as a striker, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think the best Gareth Bale is on the left in attack, because if you look at the Tottenham seasons, we're playing with Harry Redknapp. He plays in the left and also as a left back. And I think in Real Madrid, obviously the natural position could be the right position with Cristiano on the left. But I think it's important the words of Gareth Bale doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, and we know that they will switch. It's evident, and since the beginning of the season, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo switching a lot with Di Maria. It's evident the change, switch.
Not always the same.
I think we will see Gareth Bale on the right, we will see Gareth in the middle, we will see Gareth Bale on the left.
That takes time, though, and one of the things that I thought was really noticeable in the game at Villarreal, which of course was Bale's debut when he scored, was that naturally the switching of sides with Cristiano Ronaldo happened at the behest of Cristiano Ronaldo. So in other words, when Ronaldo moved, Bale moved to swap with him. And it was always provoked by Ronaldo. It was always Ronaldo changing, right, Bale then has to react. And obviously with time, they will learn when to do it and they will learn who takes the lead. But obviously, but it's natural that to start with, that is something that I think Bale's going to be a little bit uncomfortable with because he won't always know, and it will always be a reactive movement rather than a proactive movement because to start with, it will always be about Ronaldo. I'm not 100% sure that he'll be fully fit for the Clásico, and I'm not 100% sure it matters because I think Angel Di Maria's played so well that actually if Real Madrid do start Bale on the bench, it's not a big deal.
But there is something we know with Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti is clear. When Real Madrid decided to buy Gareth Bale, the president asked Carlo Ancelotti, "We have this idea. What do you think?" He said, "Yes, I want this player." You know, and Carlo Ancelotti, when you have big players, the big players are playing with Carlo Ancelotti because Carlo Ancelotti doesn't. We know that some coaches, because they want to show that they are the boss, they want to show a little bit of theater. You know, they like to put on the bench the big stars to say, "I'm stronger than the president." You know, it's not the case with serious people like the president and the coach. You know, and Carlo Ancelotti, we saw it in Milan, we saw it in Chelsea, we saw it in Paris Saint-Germain. You know, when there is a new player, because the player is here because he wanted this player. The player is playing that. If Bale is, maybe will not be 100%.
That's the
90%.
Yeah.
He will play in the start 11 in Camp Nou.
Well, I think also the other thing is that, and I think Freddie hit the nail on the head, that the way that Real Madrid can play on the break with Bale and Ronaldo and Benzema being the guy that effectively links those two up and enables those two to come into the game, at some grounds doesn't work. Against some teams it doesn't work, but against Barcelona it's the kind of particularly away, in fact almost more away than at home. It almost suits Madrid perfectly.
Well, that's all we've got time for on this edition of Extra Time. After that 2-0 victory over Málaga, Real Madrid take on Juventus in the Champions League on Wednesday evening. Hope you've enjoyed the show. From the panel and myself, it's adios.